Hi guys, welcome back to Tom Mods Things. Today on this episode we are working back on Project 106. As you can see, it is out the garage. What we are doing today is we have got the car finally booked in, final date for getting the vinyl wrap applied to the car in the colour that you guys all chose, which was that flip paint, sort of purpley into blue hue that you kind of used to get on the old TVRs. So that is the colour that this car is going. So in 2 weeks time this is in there, basically getting the work done. So what we need to do now is we are running around the car just making sure that all of the surfaces are as perfect as they can be, because we do not want any blemishes now, because obviously I'm doing this in just a standard garage and I'm not a professional by any means. There is bound to be a few areas that aren't perfect, but I think frankly with the build and how it's gone and where it's come from, I'm happy to accept a couple of small areas that might not be perfect. But however, we are still going to be pushing to get this as good as we can get it before that date. So today we are going to be working through sanding back sort of left, right and the roof of the car. Now we've done the rear bumper, we've done the whole front end already. You can see that on previous episodes. However, we had kind of left the main body until this point really. Maybe should have done it slightly sooner, but anyway, this other things take priority. So anyway, so what we need to do is we need to sand back all of the little pockets of air that had kind of happened underneath the paintwork over the years. God knows how that's happened, but anyway, since it had been painted that grey colour, basically there had been little bubbles that had formed, and I'll show you what those look like and then we will crack on with it. Alright, to give you a heads up on what those look like, so as you can see here, these ones have actually already had the top sort of sanded off to try and smooth them out, but effectively they created these like bubbles underneath the paintwork, which obviously we can't have because a wrap will show these up, definitely, and they're kind of all over. So main problems being the bottom of the door. This side is much better than the other side, but there are still sort of those blemishes on either side. You can see one there, for example. So what we need to do is we need to go and effectively get power sander. You can see I've already made a start on the rear end, and we need to sand back all the top layer, and then what we'll do is we'll blow over it with a light mist of primer, and then we'll just wet and dry it to a smooth finish so that the wrap can be applied without pulling up any of the primer dust. So we'll crack on and get on with that now. As you see, we'll bosh through getting some of that done. So we've obviously been heavily concentrating on this lower portion of the door. As you can see here, there was a hell of a lot of that sort of bubbling effect going on down there. Some of these spots over here, these are actually flat, even though they look a little bit funky on here. So we've smoothed them all back. So basically the way that you sort of tell whether a vinyl wrap's going to pick it up is you kind of run your fingernail across the top of it, is kind of what I've been told by Andy in the past. So basically that's what I've been doing on all these features, is sort of as long as you can't feel it or catch anything with your fingernail, it's more than likely not going to show up on the vinyl wrap. So these seem to all be okay. There's a couple of these areas we probably still need to do a little bit more work on, and then what we've done is we've made a start on half the roof already as well. So see, this has actually gone back to bare metal because of the amount of work that was required to get this nice and smooth again, but this is nice and smooth. So what we will do is we'll blow over this with as I say, a light coat of primer, just to kind of protect it really more than anything, because you can't really have bare metal even if it's under a vinyl wrap. And then we've been reworking this rear wing as well, which is almost there. Areas looking much better than when it started. Only areas that I need to sort out now is where I had a bit of resin dribble down the lower portions on either end when I was gluing this blade on, and then just underneath here is a little bit of work required on that as well. So yeah, other than that, as I say, front end's all pretty much together, bar these sort of little areas in here. So really it's just a ton of sanding that needs to happen. I suppose we can do a small update on Project Punto. So we've got all the rear panel and everything bonded on now, so it's got a smooth tailgate. Rear wing is mounted on, rear bumpers on and painted. And then what we have been doing is we got some arches off of a Saxo VTR that we're just knocking around in the garage, and we've started to, they look a bit ugly at the moment because there's just filler on there that I need to smooth off, but we are basically blending the combat body kit into these fenders and then into the rear bumper, and then it's the same on the front as well, just really to make the kit blend a little bit better, because I never really liked that the side skirts kind of ended there and ended there. On the Puntos they never had those additional arches like they did on the old Corsas. So yeah, anyway, so that's kind of where Punto is really at the moment. I'm just not rocking around in this at the moment as a car, because it's all good fun, but yeah, gradually working through that. But this is absolute priority at the moment. Just need to get it finished up and sorted. Really close now. Once it goes into that colour, it's going to be pretty mental, to be honest, because constantly looking at it in this sort of sanded grey primer, it doesn't really look like a car, it looks like a project. So as soon as it gets all the colour applied to it, it suddenly turns into a sort of a proper looking car. So looking forward to that one. Like that, run out of time for today, unfortunately. As you know, just gotta try and fit it in where I can with stuff going on in life at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll just flick around and show you exactly what we've achieved today. So as you can see, the car's looking nice and smooth at the moment. So what we've done is we've reworked all of this area all down the side of the car. As you can see, we've taken out all of those spotting areas that we showed earlier on in the video, flattened off certain areas where there was sort of a bit of a high spot in places, but all of this is lovely and smooth now, which is going to be great for when that wrap gets applied. We've actually got a couple of bits of vinyl wrap over there, so what I'm actually thinking of doing, some spare stuff, is I'm going to get some sheets, and I'm actually just going to start sticking bits to the car where sort of areas may kind of go either way, and then heat it up and then just kind of look at how that lays on the car, because then that can indicate to me how the wrap is actually going to sit on this car. Because what I don't want to do is sort of feel like it's fully sorted, send it over to Andy, and then he starts applying the stuff to it and then goes, for a couple of areas that aren't quite up to scratch for him. So yeah, so it's just probably easier if I just start sticking bits of vinyl on it, and then in no particular order, and then seeing exactly how it adheres to the surface and how it looks as well. Then we've started half of the roof, so as you can see, smoothed out a load of the spots here. This is lovely and smooth now, all the way across. As you can see, as we went down these welded in parts of the because what used to be here is like the roof channels that ran all the way through, so there's like I don't actually know what, I think it was welded from what I'm looking on the inside, and then it was smoothed over the top. So yeah, basically what we've been doing is on these corners and stuff, smoothed this area all the way along. You can see it was all quite wavy, and then there's certain areas where we had some of those like lumpy bits, as you can see, still going through the ones on the other side, because we didn't actually get around to the other side, unfortunately. Only managed to sort one side, but hey, progress is progress, regardless of what you have to do to get there in the end. So I'm not too disheartened by the fact that I've only managed to get half of it done today. Yep, and then as we come around the back, as you can see, yeah, done all the arches, and then rear tailgate, which is obviously all smoothed off. Did the same again, because I'm guessing where the rain's kind of been dropping down on the moisture, I think maybe it had a cover on it or something. I don't know, I'm not really sure why that sort of bubbling started to happen under the thing, but anyway, there was loads of it across the top, so we're just taking all this off. I'm going to go a bit further and just carry on smoothing some of this, just to try and get out, make sure that we're kind of not leaving any high and low spots, because I think the pearlescentness of the colour going on may pick that up. And then rear wing, it's all looking lovely and smooth now in all these areas. Looks a little bit sort of all over the place with the different levels and stuff, but that was because this is fully sort of, it was all over the place really with the way the fiberglass was sat. So it has actually smoothed it. There's a slight dip just there which I'll need to take out by adding some more filler over the top and then smoothing back down, but overall looking pretty good. All these areas all looking nice and smooth, and then actually round this side of the car, this side compared to the other side is a lot better for these sort of little bubbly bits. So there's a couple sort of on the roof where I think probably just water was sitting on top of it, but actually I think probably what happened was that side of the car was pushed up either against a bush or a wall, and so the moisture was kind of bouncing off of the wall or drawing up the wall or the bush, and then that was causing it to react. Whereas this side, it's a lot better, a lot smoother, a lot less work. So I think this is going to go a lot quicker, which is why I started on the other side to begin with, because you kind of want to, I don't know, for me personally with these things, you want to start on the side that's going to take you the longest so that you can put all the effort into that, and then it gives you an idea of how long this is going to take, and also makes you feel a little bit better, because when you do get absolutely sick to death of the other side, you know that you've got a decent side to do afterwards, which will go all lovely and smoothly, and it will all be hunky-dory, and you can leave your job on a high. So yeah, that's kind of what we've done today. All the rest smoothed on the side. We've got a couple of weeks left now until this goes in to get the colour applied, so what we'll do is we'll smooth all this other side off in the evenings now. This won't take too long to get sorted, and then as soon as that's done, we are ready to go. It's all booked in for transport, and it's all booked in with Andy to get sorted as well. So really, we're pretty damn close, to be honest, to getting this all in one colour. I just need to finish up these last bits and then get it all sorted with the bumpers. I think probably leave the bumpers off the car, so he's got best chance of getting in all the corners and stuff. And then yeah, it gets picked up. Going back on the low loader from the same company, using the same company that picked it up in the first place a year ago now. Well, just over a year ago actually. It's taken me longer than I was expecting, but anyway. So they're coming again to pick it up, and then they will ship it over to Bristol. They're going to have it for a couple of weeks, as I said earlier in the video, and then we will do a small unveiling. I haven't quite decided yet whether we're going to do a big unveiling on this YouTube video, or we're going to wait until the Max Power reunion show to do kind of an unveiling at the show instead. I haven't quite decided yet, basically, so we'll see what happens. I'll do a teaser regardless of a certain aspect of it, even if I don't show all of it. But yeah, it's going to be bloody good. It's going to be really good. I'm dead excited, to be fair, that this is coming together. And then yeah, in the interim, we'll get the Punto sorted, and then there is I'll tentatively say something else in the works at the moment, to basically not replace the 106, but because the 106 is now getting to the point where it's going to be complete, minus obviously the boot build that still needs to be sorted. There's going to be a sort of a sizable hole in my scheduling for a project car, and kind of we want to have another car for the channel, don't we, as well, because we want to keep this content coming. So there's something else in the works. I can't say a huge amount at the moment because we're still waiting to get confirmation that we're okay to go and pick it up, but I looked at it today again. I've made a deal with the guy about buying it for a price that I won't disclose, and it's going to be mental, to be fair. It's another one of these projects where it's an ex car from back in the day. It's been in magazines, and it's going to be a big project. It's going to be a big project. It's a mess, to say the least. So all looking forward to that. As soon as I know more about that and I'm able to kind of say what it is, I will keep you guys updated and informed. Follow my Instagram channel if you want to keep updated on day-to-day goings on with me and the cars and stuff. We are going to be doing some merchandise. You may have seen on the Instagram channel, so we've got 2 t-shirts that are going to be coming out. We've got one for Project 106, so that's this with the kit on it, with the colour and everything, which I think look pretty sick. I wear them all the time in the garage now and to shows and stuff, because I just really like the look of them, and so we're going to start selling those. And then we've also got a similar design for the Punto project as well, so again, another t-shirt for that project, and then more than likely we'll probably do it for the other cars that we've got on this channel as well, like the Porsche and then this other car that's yet to arrive. And yeah, so stay tuned for more content. Don't forget to subscribe if you like seeing this sort of craziness, and stay tuned for the next one, because again, the excitement just keeps coming. See you later.